discussions. You got Nash in the building.
Got Ash in the building.
So what do you have for us today?
Is love really blind?
That's a deep one. I'm gonna let you go in on that first.
Well, I mean, love can be blind, but also have our visions blurred, if you know what I mean. So like you might see a person that you in love with this person, right? You first meet them, you're in love with them and all that. That goes back to like ignoring like the signs of the individual. Like you're not really looking at the whole picture of the person because you're really blinded by the individual. So over time, our evaluation of this person becomes reduced. So we kind of idealize like who this person came and how they were when they first came into the picture, like how they were so loving, kind, and then as layers get peeled off, you're not really looking at how this person really is. You're still stuck on the fact when you first met this individual, right? So you're not really looking at how this person is treating other people, how they're behaving, how they're like just this not so good person. Like you're not really looking at all of the things that you think they really you seeing, but you're not seeing. Like you're not really seeing who they really are as an individual. You're seeing the idealized image of this individual. That's why you're not really able to take those. Your blinders is like all over the is on, basically. I mean, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I mean, no, that makes sense because I mean, when you really think about it, it's like, is love blind? It's like, I feel like, in a sense that it is, right? Because once you start feeling deeply about an individual, like those immediate, like you know how we got our intuition kicks off, and it's like a lot of things that normally would send off red flags is suppressed now, right? It's suppressed with emotions, it's suppressed with the potential, it's suppressed with what the person may have presented when you first met. You know that cupcake phase that they like to talk about, that we so often get in, and it don't even really last that long, to be quite honest, because what do they say, like scientifically, it takes you about 3 months to really see who people are. Like people can't uphold this pretend image for so long. The real person eventually has to emerge, and it's like, so once the cupcake phase is done, but the cupcake phase could have then tell so many different things that you hold on to those pieces. I mean, tight, because I mean, who wants to let go of something that feels good, right? Who wants to let go of all the things that you guys spoke about and you like that we really gonna do this, like well, he said he loves me, like she said that we was like riding and dying, like this joint is to the end, like this joint for life, like so. Yeah, I'm holding on to that because just maybe, we'll get back to that one day, right? But when it's all said and done, it's like so much more goes into that. So much more go into it. It's like, yes, things may have been discussed initially, but then life starts to happen, and then people really starts to unfold. You start to pull back layers of who these people are, and it's like, whoa. I know I told you that I wanted this for life, but now that I'm able to see who you are, it's a change of heart, right? But most people don't have those real conversations.
No.
They're not transparent in that way. They're not being vulnerable in situations they need to be vulnerable in, and then it leads to some people, like I said, they're holding on so bad, like you said, those blinders. So yes, for those people, love is blind, right? Whereas though for me, love is defined by actions, right? So if I see you handling me in certain ways, I'm going to believe how you're dealing with me. I'm believing what you're saying, and I'm not saying the good stuff that feel good. I'm meaning, does your words align with your actions at the end of the day? So yes, I may have been, at one point in time, sat there and reflected back to something you may have said to me that may have felt good. We may have been in a great space initially, and I'm like, all right, cool. Think I remember when he said such and such, and maybe we could work to get back there. But overall, I'm speaking strictly for me, because I've seen people that I love, people that I just may be in contact with, that's not really on a personal level, but personal enough that I know they're in situations they may not belong in. And it's not for me to say they belong in, just from the outside looking in. I'm like, dang, that's a good person. You know what I mean? He or she doesn't deserve that. But those are the people that, I mean, they stick, and I mean they stay. And yes, so those people, yes, love is extremely blind. To say that I've never been in a love blind phase before, I guess that would be a lie, right? I mean, I think we all have. If we
Absolutely.
really think about it, and I think that comes with experience, that comes with heartache, that comes with knowing who you are and what you want, out of the whole ordeal when it comes down to being intimate. And it takes some level of accountability as well, because it, again, I mean, you can tell me something all day. It's up to me to believe you or not, right? Even if the science is telling me it's totally opposite of what you're saying. But if I want to sit here and just be, I don't care. But didn't you just see that girl? Don't tell me nothing. And that's where people start saying, oh, they hating. They hating on us, right? And it's like, are they really hating on you? Or are they really looking out for your best interest? Because you got to be able to separate the two.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? So what do I know?
But you know, a lot of the times people are like hopeless romantics, right?
I'm a hopeless romantic.
And
I am.
yeah. So sometimes some people they're not able to really take a step back and really look at the reality of a situation, whereas though they're fantasizing about what romance is and what romance entails at the end of the day. So they're really like their desire for love is so strong that they're not the first person that come along, they're like, oh my god. But
is
again,
that desperation or a hopeless romantic? Because I'm a hopeless romantic and I'm not desperate.
well, I didn't say you were desperate.
No, I'm just saying because it, like, let me give you a quick example and then you can get back to what you're saying. I can watch a movie and I'll cry if it's something like, oh my god, that love scene or something like that, right? Because yes, I'm a hopeless romantic. I do believe in love. Like, I do believe that it's out there because I am in love. I mean, but I have had the flip side of the coin, so I know what to compare it to.
That's where I was getting at.
So
based
go
off
ahead,
it.
ma'am.
So if had she let me got to what I was getting
no, because I had to interject.
Yeah,
no. You know, I'm gonna tell you why I had to interject because your first initial statement said a hopeless romantic, and I agreed to that, and I said, oh, I'm a hopeless romantic.
Right.
And then once you start explaining, I'm like, oh wait, that sounds more like desperate. Hold on, let me backpedal a little bit.
Yeah, that's not what I'm.
Some clarity. I mean, on my end.
Yeah, so let me get back to my clarity.
Yes, go ahead.
All right, so now I can clarify what I mean by that.
Yes.
More so, like some people are they really want love and they want to fantasize. They fantasize about it, but sometimes they get jaded by the first person that comes through, but it comes along with experience. That's where I was getting to. You know what I'm saying? So of course, you know what? Anyway.
This unfiltered discussions, baby.
Anyway.
Ain't nothing made up.
Anyway, back to what I was stating. Or no, like really, like some people are really looking in search for love, but they're in search of it in the wrong places. And no, it's not always negative when it comes to somebody wanting love or a hopeless romantic. No, I'm not. You know what I'm saying? It's not always negative, but you have some people that really haven't really experienced both sides of the fence, so they really don't know. So they create this image and they're not experienced enough to really understand what love really entails, so they don't understand that, so they fantasize about like a book or whatever, you know, certain things, and then when they fall in love, they're like, oh my god, like they so like jaded by everything, is nothing else matters.
It's like fantasy land.
That's what I'm saying. Like they're fantasizing about, you know, different things, and it's just not the reality of the situation for real. So sometimes, yes, there's nothing wrong with really knowing what you want and really being a hopeless romantic, being able to be like, damn, I really want to be in love. I really want to, you know, but also knowing that you could take a step back a little bit and not be putting yourself in situations that you don't need to be in, but it comes with experience at the end of the day. So we get jaded by intimacy, right? So a lot of the times we become intimate with individuals and we think that we're in love and we're not. We don't realize that we're just lusting over an individual. We don't realize these certain things until we realize later on, like, wait, dang, what was I really thinking at that time? Like, what was really going on at this point in my mind, you know? Because sometimes we let our emotions, right? overpower our intelligence. So a lot of the times we demonstrate from emotions. We're not even thinking logic when it comes to you being highly off of emotions. And that could be a dangerous thing when you are going strictly off emotions and not really taking a step back and say, hold on, let me compare and contrast things and really just look at the awareness piece. So a lot of times we're not aware. We're not even aware.
Hmm. Yeah, it's crazy because when you say about the emotions tied to sex, right? At the end of the day, people automatically assume, oh, we had sex, this person is into me, right?
Mm-hmm.
And we know for facts that a lot of women measure that like, oh, we was intimate, girl. We ain't use no condoms. You know what I mean, child? You know what I'm saying? He did his thing. On that. I'm just saying, like, he got real personal.
Mm-hmm.
But men, that's nothing to them. Like, they hit any and everybody, a couple chicks a day, and it's like, oh wait, who? Oh, I don't really know her like that. Like, man, my homeboy and them, she can't do it. The girls, that's how that went down. Like, that
They're
ain't
not
about
even on an emotional.
not even knowing that old girl over here telling a whole love story. Girl, he did it like this, and then we did this, and girl, we was kissing. It's two different stories.
Mm-hmm.
And then if they come to the technical, they be like, damn, well, I was a part of that. Like, me and you. Like, oh, that ain't how I seen it. I ain't say it like that. Because like everybody always say, yes, women more so act off emotions.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, some men that are like that too, but majority of the time it's a woman.
Mm-hmm.
Because they already have in their mind what they want. You know where they're going, and they already painted these pictures, so they're trying to live out what they painted already. And that's where a lot of people go wrong at. Like, it's okay now. You can paint out your goals and your aspirations all day long, as you should, right? Because I'm big on vision boards.
Mm-hmm.
As you should, because you got to manifest these things. You can manifest the love life too, but it's levels to that, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's levels to it, and that goes back to your point about people dealing with somebody and immediately think that, oh, this is the one.
Mm-hmm.
First thing that come along, and that's the farthest thing from the truth, because yes, it's a damn wolf in sheep's clothing. Like, you don't even know because you just want that. You're trying to reach that one thing that you had in your heart and mind. Maybe even wrote it out and be like, dang, this is it. I feel those sparks that I know this is the one. I'm going all in. I'm going all in. And so you leaving yourself vulnerable. And you don't got no layers of protection on. You didn't even let these people show up and show you who they really are.
Mm-hmm.
Like, did anything happen? Did y'all get to do any storms together? Like, did you call on this person in a moment of need and they came through? Like, that's the lot of the stuff. I measure my stuff off of stuff like that. At the end of the day, I don't give a damn. People tell me I'm beautiful all day. I don't give a damn about none of that. You can tell, oh, your body nice, or I like. I don't want to hear. Oh, okay. No.
Yeah.
I like to weather storms together. I like to see what's really going on. I want to know if you're there for me. I know you support what I got going on. I need to know if you're speaking life into me. Like, all of that stuff, I measure, that's how I feel if somebody love me. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
On top, the other stuff is just whatever, little decorations on the cake.
And
So
that's the thing when it comes down to that, because a lot of people don't understand that, and I'm not saying everybody, but certain some people, they don't understand that you have to really be with somebody who is able to have you better as a person. Adding on to what you already have going on. Really having somebody in tune to who you are at the end of the day. You know what I'm saying? Being able to really, I really be able to acknowledge your emotions, your feelings, somebody who's actually listening to what you got going on, and being able to help you come up with solutions to certain things that you bring to them. Things of that nature. And communication is the biggest thing of it all. So you sitting here saying you love this individual, have y'all really communicated on the levels that y'all should be communicating on? And that's where it gets a little crazy, because you haven't communicated with this individual. The fact that you have expectations of something that was never even presented or even laid down on the table, back to assuming that you're in a relationship with somebody and there's not even anything going on. Y'all didn't even come up with a mutual agreement. And that's where people go wrong a lot of the times, and this is where a lot of people get hurt. you know,
Mhm.
by their assumptions or by their ideal image of what it looks like to be in love with somebody, you know.
Mhm.
And a lot of the times we just really have to really understand ourselves first and really look back and really have that awareness piece and be like, wait, I know exactly what I want. I know what I'm looking for. I know how I want to be treated. I know that I don't want to be mistreated, you know. And when it comes to love, you know, and when you first really start feeling like you're in love, we start letting down boundaries. We
Mhm.
let those boundaries down.
You're non-existent.
Yeah, and that's where it becomes blurred, you know. And the evaluation of the person is you're not evaluating this individual any further. You just going strictly off of how you feeling and not what
Mhm.
is being presented in front of you at the end of the day. So it's really hard, you know, because you know me myself being in a situation and it's like, wait, that's what I thought that was. After like really being able to come out of the situation and say, hold on,
Mhm.
this is not what this is supposed to be. You know, and people tell you this all day, and it's a defense mechanism when we start defending certain
Oh,
things about this
absolutely.
individual, the bad things, the negative things that people are presenting, and they're not coming at you crazy. They're saying like, "Hey, you know,
You do
it's
have to
okay
say.
that such and such did this to you. Do you think that's okay that he's putting his hands on you? Do you think that it's okay that you know whatever? You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm just making that as an example, like something that's not okay, and you're just allowing it to happen. You know, and that's where we tend to like really get our emotions all wrapped up like we don't know, and we get
Yeah.
defensive because we don't want nobody saying something about somebody we love. We don't want that image to be
And
tainted.
that's the key that we love
Right.
is not reciprocated.
Mhm.
But you know what's so funny? Because when I think about love is blind, it makes me think about self love, right? You
Mhm.
got so many people that speak this self worth like, I love me.
Mhm.
Like nobody comes before me. You know, they're giving out these whole speeches and maybe get up in the morning do affirmations or whatever they may do. But then you see what they allow, right? And it's like, dang, I really did believe you at one point because you talk a good game, but what are you allowing in? What are
Mhm.
you? How are you allowing people to treat you? You know what I mean? So if you really do love yourself, so love is blind. Yes, it could be self love is blind as well
Mhm.
because we may think that we saying all this stuff and putting our foot down this way and that way, and then when you're in a situation or presented with something, it all of that is like you forgot what you said in the mirror every morning. You forgot the good speech you tell your girlfriends. You know what I mean? Like, what's up? Like, who are you pretending with?
Mhm.
Because now all you're doing is lying to yourself. So love is blind, yes, on different levels, not just in an intimate relationship, but
Mhm.
with self as well. And a lot of people really got to tap back into who they are, what they want, and really, because everybody got with them. Everybody, I don't give a damn who you are.
Mhm.
Nobody is perfect. Nobody has it all figured out. A million people might like me, then 500,000 might not like me, and that's cool. That's the way of life. Like everybody don't like the same things, right?
Mhm.
Everybody has their reason behind the why or whatever, and sometimes it's just because they can't stand it themselves, so they don't like people that come off as you know strong and know where they're going and what they want, and really can weather storms that they couldn't even put their toe in. You understand what I'm saying?
Mhm.
So that again goes down to how you see yourself because if you're sitting here and you're bashing and being hateful towards people and tearing down for no apparent reason at
Mhm.
all, and some people don't even know or don't even know who you are, right?
Mhm.
They might have seen you somewhere or maybe in a setting by mutual people, and then the next thing you know, y'all don't like her. Yeah, I don't know something about her. Because then you ask the person, well, what she do to you?
Mhm.
I don't know, it's just something about her. I don't
Mhm.
like her. Then you're intimidated. You're intimidated by how a person moves. You're
Mhm.
intimidated by what a person is capable of. You're intimidating instead of saying, "Dad, you come off as a strong woman. You come off as real put together." Yeah, rightfully so. But then there's a story behind me.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? Get in my world and get to know who I am, and then maybe you could say, oh, okay, I get that. I've been there before. Oh, dang. Now I see why she's the way she is. You know what I mean? So you gotta love yourself first.
Yeah.
You can want love from a man and a woman all day long, and that's cool because the people are supposed to be together. People
Mm-hmm.
are supposed to be loved. Love is a beautiful thing if it's done right, and that doesn't mean that in your beautiful love story that there won't be any storms.
No.
There's always a storm, duh.
No. Nobody's perfect.
You know what I mean? But that makes you come back stronger. If you're able to communicate the issue at hand and don't let it sit, because a lot of people like to sit in it. You can't sit in it because then it creates other issues, right? And then who wants to, you wants to come home and you got to come home in misery? Who wants to come home and dread getting in the door? And it's like, damn, I really, you ain't got nothing going on today. I'm gonna start over with y'all real quick.
And that's
You know what
pushing
I mean?
people in places that they don't belong when it comes down to that. And to piggyback off of loving yourself, a lot of people don't realize, like, the hardest relationship of it all is the relationship with yourself.
All day long.
That's the hardest relationship, and that's just the honest truth.
And that's the most neglected relationship.
Absolutely, and that's the saddest thing. And people tend to put on this facade, and you dress yourself up. So a lot of people hide behind a lot of things in order to feel like they're worthy of something. You have people that hide behind high-end materialistic things to feel like that is a part to contribute to their self-worth, and that's not that. Not saying that people don't have nice things and they have self-confidence, but you find a lot of people who will sit around here and utilize value for self-worth, and it's like, no, like, really sit back and strip yourself naked of everything and really get in tune with self, build that relationship with self, be able to pamper yourself, love yourself, do the things that you like to do, and also having that self-care, like, and self-care is extremely important, and a lot of the times we don't know how to do that, but we can care for others, but we don't self-care ourselves. And this is why a lot of people cups are empty, because you're pouring into things that are not pouring back into you. And we can start by pouring into yourself, and then you can blossom and be good for the individual that you're supposed to be with or meant to be with at the end of the day.
Absolutely.
So it's hard, really being able to identify those flaws and really putting that list down and identifying those character defects. And yes, certain flaws are a part of our personality, so it's important to really own those flaws, and that's important of knowing who you are. So when somebody point that out, I'm already owning that. I'm owning who I am.
But what are you doing about it though?
Exactly. And also making that change, because and another thing is, it's hard for people to accept change. Change is one of the hardest things as well. We don't want to do change. We change every day. And there's certain things that we may have to change, and we don't have no choice but to. But it's important to change and be able, and changing contributes to the growth, right? And a lot of people are not in a position where they're willing to change and grow. And there's certain flaws that you be like, what, that ain't even cool. You know what? Let me strive to be a better individual, right? And when you start loving on you, people are like, dang, like I really see that change. You don't sit here and keep saying that you changed and I've grown.
You don't have to say.
You don't have to say it, because it's going to show.
Itself.
It's going to show. And people tend to put that out there like, yeah, I changed. But then when something transpires, you're looking around and be like, well, wait, I thought this person was changed. Like, I don't see anything that happened. Like, you just did exactly what you normally would do. And and a lot of things are not your problem. Like when people are walking with confidence and everything, right? And people don't know how to take certain people, right? And yes, people love themselves dearly, and they're walking with confidence. It's nothing personal. That's your issue. That's not like, why should I have to dim my light? You know what I'm saying? Because I'm loving on me, I'm pouring into me, and I'm just being who I am. I'm not down on nobody. I'm not judging nobody. I'm not thinking I'm better than anybody. I'm just being who I am. And when we tend to have things going for ourselves and we want to share it with the people that we love and be like, damn, listen, I got this going on. Oh my God, like I can't wait to do X, Y, and Z. Those are the things that you want to say to people. And then you have people on the flip side that have an issue with that. And it's like, I'm just telling you where I'm at in life and where I'm going and where I see my future headed. You know what I'm saying? It's nothing personal. And people tend to personalize that because that's a their issue. And that's their problem at the end of the day. People can't handle certain people, and it's like that's because. So I'm supposed to dim my light to make you feel more comfortable. So I'm supposed to make you comfortable, and put my stuff on hold because you feel a way about it. Absolutely not.
It's funny going back to the thing about pouring into the cup and how that's more like a society thing. Women are always the ones, the homemakers, making sure the kids good, making sure the household is good. Making sure the spouse is good. And if you really look at it, it's like men got the same cup, right? Their cups is always full. Sometimes running over, right? Why? Like the woman ain't even got a drop of anything down the side of the cup, and that's because again, that's how it's structured, right? For women to take care of so many different things. And yes, men is, like I said, we always, since the time I can remember, was made to be providers, right? But now it's like the way it is now is like kind of like on. We're never going to be even playing fields because we all bring our own stuff to the table, gender wise, right? But it's to the point that women are out here doing their thing. So when does it change over for the men to start pouring into their woman's cup? And that's why it's extremely important to deal with somebody that's pouring into your cup, speaking life into you, supporting you, reassuring you. Okay, back in whatever your place, even though they're the craziest place in the world, because as women we back our men 1,000,000%. We're the craziest crap ever. Oh yeah. Or we gotta do let me do a little research, we gotta do X, Y, and Z and we're gonna get that done. It never go anywhere. Sometimes it do, sometimes it don't. But at the end of the day, you wanted to do that, so I'm backing you. Return it, right? And it's just good to be in a space where I can say that. Like, I wasn't always in a space where, I was with somebody that backed what I wanted to do. They more so was intimidated by what I bring to the table, right? And it was like, damn, like, what's up? Like, to me, that's real weird, right? Because if I'm with you, whatever I got, you're going to benefit from what I bring to the table because you're a part of me. At least that's how I'm carrying it, right? So to be able to finally get with somebody that's aligned with me, the possibilities is endless at this point. And it's like, damn, this is it. It all makes sense now, right? And like I said, that compare and contrast, even then oh yeah, I had a bunch of that bullshit, but this right here, this on some old level, next level type stuff, and it's so needed. I just want men and women to be able to be in that space in life with whoever they deal with. Because that right there, and that's not just on like financial stuff, that's on stuff that money can't buy me stuff, right? Stuff that, everybody got a different level of what brings happiness to them, right? And my thing is never materialistic stuff. That stuff I can purchase on my own. It's stuff, feed my soul, right? Feed my mind, like, give me a different outlet when I'm in my mind, because I'm a thinker, so if I'm in my mind and I'm like getting all wrapped up about certain things just because I need to figure it out, like I need to figure this out, reassure me. Let me know, listen, this is only for a moment. This ain't gonna last forever. We, not you, we gonna get up out of this. You know what I mean? Those kind of words is needed. At least for a woman like me, I don't know what other women need. I just know what I need at the end of the day. And that's my love language. Like, a lot of people got their own. Some people need to be touched. Some people, don't get it twisted. Yes, they need to be touched and like to be touched. That's not what I'm saying. But for me to thrive and all that I am and what I can do in this world, yes, I need somebody that's backing me. I need somebody that's reassuring. I need somebody because, again, yes, I figure out a lot of things. You see me, right? But I'm in a space where I would like to be vulnerable sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how to do that, but I would like to be like that. And I'm finally getting there. You know what I mean? And it
Mm-hmm.
feels good. It's kind of weird because it was weird at first, but now it's like, oh, I can do this. Okay, well, this is what it feels like. This is what it looks like, right?
Mm-hmm.
And that's that piece that's when you can start being submissive in certain areas. And it's like, damn, I've never seen this one coming.
Mm-hmm.
Ever. If you was to ever ask me, submissive, what's that? Who? To who?
Mm-hmm.
To what? Not happening. You know what I mean? But I'm in a space where I'm like, oh, okay, I can do that. That's what this for. Because it brings out my feminine side, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like, I don't always have to figure it out. Like I said in a couple podcasts ago, way in the beginning, we started this thing. And it's like, I don't like to wear the pants all the time.
Mm-hmm.
I shouldn't have to. I'm a lady.
Yeah.
Yeah, I likes to be dressed up, my nails and feet done all the time. I don't care what season it is. Because I know a lot of people like to do stuff when it's summertime. No, I like my things done all in every season. You know what I mean? It's just certain things that are required for me. That's a part of my self love and my image and who I am as a woman, right?
Mm-hmm.
But no, self love and being blinded by love is real.
Absolutely.
It's real. It would have you in places you have no business in. It would have you not even know who you are. You can look in the mirror and don't even recognize yourself anymore.
Yeah.
And I don't like to see because I have seen plenty of people that I love in those positions.
Yeah.
And it's sad.
Yeah, especially when you find yourself in situations and you feel like you don't have a voice, and that's where and then when you're treated so when you've been through some things, like I always say, it lets you know what you're willing to deal with and how you want to be treated. So that self-love piece, when you love yourself, you're not allowing nobody to mistreat you and do do things to you. That self-love is definitely needed and it's important, because that determines how you allow other people to treat you. When you love yourself, you're not letting nobody handle you or carry you in any way.
No doormat.
No. No, you won't be walking all over me and thinking you're going to take that. Look, you know how they scrape the foot? Like, hold on, let me get the piece of that out my shit. Ain't happening. So that's the beauty of really, experience and really understanding life and really being able to say, I don't deserve this. I know exactly what I want, what I'm willing to deal with, what I'm what are the deal breakers and all of those things, because I've been through some things to understand and be able to walk that personal growth journey and that self journey, because like I said, a lot of the times when people come into our lives, we think we all put together and we're not. We're in a broken state, and we don't even realize that we're not even whole. And it's like, I'm not even whole. How can I be in a relationship with somebody when I didn't even do the most important is myself? Like, how can I do that? And that's where people get it misconstrued too, because you have people that will have relationships, right? And you get into one relationship, the next, and you ever see some people, each relationship they're so in love, and it's like, wait a minute, are you really in love, or are you looking to fill a void?
They in love with the idea of love.
Exactly, that part. So you're jumping and going into things that you have no business going into, and that's why the beauty of it all is to sit back and really be by yourself. Once you enjoy being by yourself, you can be with anybody, but not just anybody. If you know what I mean. Like you would know how to be in a relationship when you sit back and really be by yourself.
And another important thing that a lot of people gotta understand is take the sex off the table. A lot of people bond just off of intimacy, right? If you really take sex out of the equation for a lot of situations, it wouldn't be no situations. Some people are still in stuff because the sex is good.
And it's like, what else is to compare it to?
So once we get out the bedroom, what's going on? Everything else is falling apart around us. But we only can make sense in the bedroom.
Wait. The only thing we got in common is the bedroom. So what we talking about here?
Real life.
And you don't even realize it. You jaded by the bed.
That's it. And it's like, take that out the equation. And another thing is, a lot of people jump straight into the physical with other people. It's like, and all of that stuff comes with experience and time, because we all been in a space where, damn, I shouldn't have slept. That was quick, damn. I ain't think that over too well. You know what I mean? But like real talk, like this unfiltered discussion. This is like, hey,
really.
like shit.
Look, we unfiltered, y'all.
I'm tripping. It's like, wait.
Why did I do
And
that?
you know what I mean? And then of course it's not a multiple. No, but it's just even if it's that one. It's like, damn, I didn't think that out too well. But at the end of the day, that comes with experience, growing and learning. Like, nah, that's not how it works because honestly, if we really get to take time to know somebody with no physical involved, literally none, a lot of it could lead to different things. Oh, we just better as friends. We just cool like this. Like, I wouldn't even. I wouldn't say hit him, because that doesn't even sound right. I wouldn't even get physical with this dude. You know what I mean? Like, we vibe as friends, we good business partners, like, and that's just that. Because sometimes a lot of situations get tainted because you already had sex with them, so you can't even go back to that friendship stage already because now y'all done cross signals. Y'all could have really been really, really good friends or really, really, really good business partners, but y'all already messed it up.
Yeah.
So slow it down a little bit. The older you get, you can't be rushing to the bed. You did that already. We was naive as teenagers and stuff in the early 20s. It's like, damn, no, that ain't that no more. A lot of us is pushing 40 around this. Like, let's act like we are.
Absolutely.
And even for the young ones, if you can learn from somebody else's experience, learn from it. Why don't go down the path if you don't have to? But some people have to learn by, getting burnt. You know what I mean? They have to. They still want to stick themselves in the fire, even if they see the damn building.
Because they want to see what it is for themselves.
And that's good. Some people need that lesson. But yes, love is blind. Yes, self-love is necessary. Yes, love is a beautiful thing. And in life, just know what you want. Go for it. But love yourself first. Have you together. It's not fair to a man or a woman to have to be putting all these broken pieces together. It's some things that could be okay to be worked on, but they're not your damn therapist.
No.
They're not your parent. They wasn't the one that hurt you to begin with. Can they understand your experiences so they can know how to deal with you? Absolutely, as they should. You know what I mean? But if you're looking for somebody to complete you in that way, you're already lost. Lost already.
Absolutely.
But yeah, so just live life like it's your last decision you're making when you are dealing with somebody, because that stuff can mess you up in the long run. You can have kids by the wrong person. You can marry the wrong person.
Girl.
You know what I mean? The list can go on.
Oh, absolutely.
You know what I mean? So just be sure where you're going, what you're doing, and what you want. And you know how this go, right? Because this is Nash signing off.
To Ash signing off.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.